And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gretna, Nebraska for the 2017 Nebraska American Legion Class A Juniors Baseball Tournament. This is Area 6, and this is our second game played today, Game 7 on your bracket. It's going to pit 5 Points Bank out of Grand Island, the number 1 seed, playing for the first time after the bye in the first round against the number 4 seed, First State Bank of Fremont. 5 Point Bank is going to be the home team on your scoreboard. Here's their lineup defensively. On the mound, pitching is number 13, Brendan Mendez. Behind the plate, number 19, Riley Krakowski. At first base is number 16, Noah Halsey. At second base is number 6, Adam Cooper. At third, number 18, Javier Cruz. And at shortstop, number 2, Jay Gustafson. In the outfield, number 4, Blake Lighting is in left. Number 3, Kian Wentling is in center. And in right field is number 9, Carson Cahoy. It looks like Mendez is done throwing his warm-up pitches. Looks like Krakowski is thrown down to the shortstop, Gustafson, and we're ready to play ball here in Game 7. Second game scheduled for today. And we're ready to get started. The first batter is going to be number 3, the center fielder, Eli Herink. Herink will step in against Brendan Mendez. Mendez, the right-hander on the mound against the right-hander, Herink at the plate. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. Fastball misses upstairs for ball 1. And we're underway. So one game has already been played today in the previous game. 1-0 pitch misses high, 2-0. Previous game that was played today was an elimination game between Dinsdale Auto of Grand Island and the Columbus Red baseball team. Columbus Reds lost in that contest 8-3, and they've been eliminated. Dinsdale will move on. 2-0 pitch is a fastball on the inside corner, and Herrick has a 2-1 count as he faces Mendez. Mendez from the full windup goes into his delivery. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Herrick, and it's fouled out of play down the right field line and back into the throwing area. So 2-2 the count on the first batter of the contest, number 3, Eli Herrick. Mendez from the full windup, glove up in front of his face as he takes the sign, steps back, and here's the pitch. On the outside corner, fouled back and away out of play. Count remains 2-2.
Once again, foul balls are worth 50 cents, courtesy of Speedy Mart and American National Bank.
Beautiful day at the ball field today. Again, blue skies with some clouds in the air. Wind is definitely blowing out a little harder to left field than it has been so far this tournament. Curveball on the inside corner. He fights it off down the right field line right towards his own backstop, his own dugout, and it's still a 2-2 count here on the first batter, Herink. Mendez from the full windup gets his sign and delivers again at 2-2. Curveball that's punched to third base. Third baseman bobbles it, fires across the diamond. Ball in the dirt, takes a bound hop. It skips over the first baseman. And the runner is not going to be able to advance as both the right fielder was hustling in to back it up as well as the catcher and the first baseman. But on the error by the third baseman, Herrick is going to be safe at first. So First State Bank gets the leadoff runner on. And it brings up the second baseman, number 4, Brody Sintek. Sintek batting from the right side against the right-hander, Mendez. Mendez now out of the stretch. Checks the runner, comes set. Here's the first pitch. Off the inside corner, too far inside for ball 1. Again, just underway here in Game 7, the 4 o'clock game here in Area 6 district action. 0-0 scores. We have just the second batter of the game at the plate. And Sintek's going to lay down a bunt, pushes it to the first base line. The pitcher, Mendez, is able to run over, scoop it, and underhand it to the first baseman. But Sintek does his job with the sacrifice bunt as the leadoff batter, Herrick, who reached on the error, is now standing over at second base with 1 down. Brings up to bat the shortstop, number 20, Mitchell Glaus. Glaus stepping in from the right side as well. Herrick standing on second. Mendez looks in. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. It's a fastball right down the chute, right on the inside third for strike 1. So Mendez not wasting any time getting up on the batter. The 3-hole hitter, Glaus. Glaus in the box. Mendez comes set. Looks at the runner. Delivers to the plate. Hard ground ball towards the gap between second and first. The second baseman ranges over. Makes the throw a little bit wide, but the first baseman is able to reach out and glove it. And there's two down. On the play, Herink goes ahead and moves up to third base on the fielder's choice. And this brings up the cleanup hitter, number 6, the catcher, Nick Herink. So two down here in the top of the first. First State Bank has a runner on third, and Eli Herink. Nick Herink at the plate looking to drive him in, and he takes the first pitch up and out for ball 1. So 1-0 count to the cleanup hitter, Nick Herink. Mendez from the stretch takes a look in, gets a sign, peering over at the runner at third, looks back to the plate and delivers. It's a hard hit ball, but it's hit right towards the second baseman. He bobbles, but throws it over to first and gets the third out of the inning. So no damage done, even with the leadoff runner reaching on that error. Going into the bottom of the first inning, your score from Gretna is First State Bank of Fremont 0. 5 Point Banks of Grand Island yet to bat. We'll be back with the bottom of the first inning actions after this word from our sponsors. Thanks for listening to GretnaBaseball.com.
Points, cash, gear, sports. With a Dick's Scorecard, you earn points on all your purchases and get 3% back in rewards and access to exclusive deals and events. It's simple. Points lead to cash to buy gear so you can play more sports. Get your Dick's Scorecard and start earning reward certificates today. Every season starts at Dick's.
Welcome back to Gretna. Going into the bottom of the first inning, as First State Bank of Fremont was able to get the leadoff runner to reach on an error by the third baseman. But 3 consecutive outs, a sacrifice bunt, fielder's choice to the second baseman, and another dribbler to the second baseman. And 5 Points is able to get out of the inning without any damage. 5 Points is coming up to bat. Let me set your lineup defensively for First State Bank of Fremont. On the mound is number 12, Logan Mueller. Behind the plate is going to be number 6, Nick Herink. At first base, number 34, Brendan Callahan. At second base, number 4, Brody Sintek. At third is number 23, Joe Clement. And at shortstop, number 20, Mitchell Glaus. Manning the outfield today, number 16, Justin Pemberton's in left field. Number 3, Eli Herink is in center field. And in right field, number 10, Zach Stevens. So Logan Mueller is going to be the starting pitcher for Fremont, and he's finishing his warm-up pitches on the mound. Mueller is a right-hander, and he's going to face Kean Wentling, the leadoff batter and center fielder for 5 Points Bank here in the bottom of the second. So Wentling, Gustafson, and Halsey due up for 5 points. We really do appreciate you listening on GretnaBaseball.com. You know, if you want to join us at the park, we would prefer that. Beautiful complex here in Gretna, if I do say so myself. I am kind of partial. But definitely a little warm outside. Very glad that the Baseball Association added the solar shades over the top of some of the bleachers. And it looks like we're done with our warm-up pitches and we're ready to go. And here's the first pitch of the contest for Fremont. Fastball off the inside corner. Wentling takes it for ball 1, 1-0 count. So no damage done, even though there was a runner who got on base for Fremont. And now Grand Island 5 Points is at the plate. 1-0 pitch is a fastball at the knee, is taken for a strike. 1-1 the count to the center fielder, number 3, Kean Wentling. Mueller from the full windup. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Fastball that's hit right back at his feet, right back up the middle into center field. So a hard grounder right back up the middle of the diamond. And just like that, the leadoff batter has reached for 5 points.
Number 2, shortstop, Jay Gustafson.
All right, so with Wentling reaching with the leadoff single, brings up to bat the shortstop, number 2, Jay Gustafson. Gustafson batting from the right side. Wentling gets his lead off first. Mueller comes set. Here's the delivery. Shows bunt, but pulls it back because the pitch was high. 1-0. So good job with showing bunt, but pulling it back when he knew it was really unreachable. Not a good pitch to try to bunt. You'll pop that one in the air. 1-0 is the count. Mueller comes set. Here's the 1-0 delivery, and this bunt is laid down. Nice sacrifice bunt just between the first baseman and third baseman as they charge. I'm sorry, the pitcher and the third baseman as they charge. The pitcher, Mueller, is able to barehand it, pick it up off the ground, and he fires across the first for the first out of the inning. So Gustafson does his job. Good execution so far being seen from both teams as Gustafson lays down the sacrifice bunt and moves Wentling over to second base. Brings up to bat number 16, the first baseman, Noah Halsey. Halsey, a true lefty, he bats from the left side as well, facing the right-hander. First pitch to Halsey is outside, and way outside, not even close, by Mueller. 1-0 is your count to the batter. Here's the 1-0 delivery from Mueller. Fastball misses down and in. 2-0 is your count to the batter, Halsey. So Halsey up 2-0 in the count. Mueller comes set, looks back at Wentling at second, delivers to the plate, and the 2-0 pitch is right at the outside corner on the knees for strike one. So 2-1's your count on the batter. Noah Halsey, the 3-slot hitter, and first baseman. Halsey batting from the left side, Mueller throwing from the right side. Mueller comes set, looks back at Wentling. Here's the delivery. 2-1 pitch is hit hard but foul off the right field line, almost into the dugout on the right field side. So open-faced dugouts here at the Gretna ballpark, so you got to be careful while you're sitting in the dugout for those hard ground balls. Counts even at 2-2. Halsey back into the box. Mueller comes set and delivers. Fastball on the outside corner but misses low, and the count goes full to Halsey. So 3-2 count, runner on second, bottom of the first inning, scoreless contest as we're just in the bottom of the first. Here's the payoff pitch on the full count. It misses inside and low, and Halsey's going to reach on the walk.
Number 9, right fielder, Carson Cahoy.
So this brings up to bat the right fielder, number 9, Carson Cahoy. Facing Mueller for the first time this contest. Cahoy batting from the right side against the right-handed pitcher, Mueller. The runners take their lead. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Right at the knees on the outside corner for strike one. So Mueller is doing a good job of keeping his pitches down early in this contest. Sometimes too far down. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a foul ball. And it's going to be 0-2 as that got a hold of somebody. I think the home plate umpire caught the brunt of that one. So 0-2 is the count on Carson Cahoy. Here's the 0-2 delivery from the pitcher, Mueller, and it's fouled up, out of play, over the top of the backstop and over us in the press box. Count will remain 0-2.
Courtesy of Speedy Mart and American National Bank.
So here's the 0-2 pitch. Delivery to the plate. Curveball that looked like it was going to hit him. He was bailing on the curveball, and then it broke back hard, but not quite back to the plate. So Cahoy gets bailed out on the curveball missing inside. 1-2 is your count. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Runner is moving from second towards third, and he's going to slide in safely. Delayed steal there coming behind him at second, but he moves up as well. So Cahoy goes down on strikes as it was a called strike three. And the runners move up to second and third. So there's two away for the designated hitter, Ryan Melvin, number 12. And he's got Wentling standing on third and Halsey standing on second. So see if he can deliver with two outs. Here's the first pitch to the designated hitter, Melvin. And it's drilled hard, but the second baseman has a beat on it. He fields it cleanly, throws it across the first, and we're out of the first inning. So 5 Points Bank threatened here in the bottom of the first, but did no damage. No runs were able to cross as Logan Mueller pitched his way out of it at the end, drawing the ground ball to second. After one complete inning of play, ladies and gentlemen, your score here from Gretna, where you remain scoreless. We'll be back with the top of the second inning in just a few moments. Thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com.
Points, cash, gear, sports. With a Dick's Scorecard, you earn points on all your purchases and get 3% back in rewards and access to exclusive deals and events. It's simple. Points lead to cash to buy gear so you can play more sports. Get your Dick's Scorecard and start earning reward certificates today. Every season starts at Dick's.
Baseball fans, this broadcast of the Nebraska American Legion Area 6 Juniors Tournament is brought to you by our sponsors. One such sponsor is Kirsten Construction of Gretna, Nebraska, a full-service underground utility contractor, providing quality service to residential, industrial, and commercial clients in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. They provide free estimates. Give them a call. Services include underground utilities, water and sewer line repairs, and snow removal. And Kirsten Precast Concrete products include manholes, septic tanks, and special orders. Give Kirsten Construction a call at 402-332-4141, a proud sponsor of American Legion Baseball. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the top of the second inning. Stepping into the box for First State Bank of Fremont is the pitcher, number 12, Logan Mueller. And Mueller takes the first pitch on the outside corner, fastball by Mendez for a strike. Mueller, although he's throwing from the right side, bats from the left side. Here's the 1-0-1 delivery. And that's a drive into the gap in left center field. That's going to get past everyone. Keeps rolling to the fence. Mueller is rounding first, heads into second. The ball gets picked up in the gap, and he's going to hang at second as the throw hits the cutoff man. Good throw by the center fielder to the cutoff man to keep him at second. But that's a leadoff double for the pitcher, Logan Mueller. So helping his own cause by getting right into scoring position to begin the top of the second inning. So Mueller, being the pitcher, is going to come off, and in his place, number 28, Reed Johansson, is going to go in as a courtesy runner.
Courtesy runner number 28, Reed Johansson.
So Johansson takes his plate out at second, brings up to bat number 34, the first baseman, Brennan Callahan. Callahan batting from the right side. Mendez looks back at second. And here's the first delivery of the at-bat. Fastball right down the chute for strike one. So Callahan takes the first strike right down the middle of the plate. Maybe a little high, but still in the strike zone. Maybe top side of the strike zone, but he watched it go by. Here's the 0-1 delivery from Mendez to Callahan. Callahan showing bunt. Mendez delivers, and he is going to bunt. Tries to push it down the first base line, but it hits the dirt, and the spin on the ball kicks it into foul territory, where it's touched by the first baseman for strike two. So again, just to recap while everybody heads back, folks, we're in the top of the second inning, 0-0 score. No team could score in the first inning. First State Bank of Fremont up to bat. The leadoff hitter, Logan Mueller, hit a leadoff double. Reed Johansson is now running for him as a courtesy runner. And the batter is Brendan Callahan, and he's down 0-2. Here's the 0-2 delivery to Callahan. Curveball that he sits back on. Doesn't hit very hard. Weak dribbler to shortstop. Shortstop has the charge and makes the throw across the diamond. Gets him by a couple of steps over at first. There's going to be a timeout on the field as I think the umpire wants to check that baseball. I think he hit it with the end of the bat and might have cut it.
Number 23,
the way the umpire looked at it.
Joe Clement.
So on the play, Mueller is going to be moved up to third on the weak ground out. And Callahan is out on the fielder's choice to the shortstop. Brings up to bat the third baseman, number 23, Joe Clement. One down, runner on third. Clement steps in and hits one into foul territory. That's not going to be fielded by anybody. It stayed in the park, but the first baseman for 5 points is playing right up on the edge of the grass, and where he was playing, there was no way for him to get to that ball. So after the foul ball, 0-1 is your count to the third baseman, Joe Clement. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball that misses just outside. 1-1's your count. So Reed Johansson standing over on third base with one down, hoping somebody can knock him in, or a wild pitch or a pass ball gets him in. Here's the 1-1 pitch from the pitcher, Mendez. And it's a dribbler towards the shortstop. The runner is going to score on the play as it's weakly hit. And Clement is out as the shortstop throws across the first, but that's the first run of the ball game as First State Bank is on the board. Clement did his job there, getting the ball dribbled to the shortstop.
Right fielder Justin Pemberton.
It was hit just hard enough that the runner could get moving from third. And so with 2 down, nobody on base, number 16, Pemberton, comes up to the plate. I missed that first pitch. What was that? So first pitch came in and it was ball 1. Here's the second pitch, and it's popped up high towards the right side. The first baseman's underneath it. Camps reaches up and makes the catch for out number 3. So only 4 batters come up in the inning, but with Mueller's leadoff double helping his own cause, Johansson goes in and runs for him and goes station to station on the next 2 groundouts to shortstop. Going into the bottom of the second inning, your score from Gretna, First State Bank of Fremont 1, 5 Points Bank of Grand Island 0. We'll be back with the bottom of the second inning in just a moment. Thank you for listening on GretnaBaseball.com.
Points, cash, gear, sports. With a Dick Scorecard, you earn points on all your purchases and get 3% back in rewards and access to exclusive deals and events. It's simple. Points lead to cash to buy gear so you can play more sports. Get your Dick Scorecard and start earning reward certificates today. Every season starts at Dick's.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Gretna, Nebraska. Bottom of the second inning here in our game this afternoon between First State Bank of Fremont and 5 Points Bank of Grand Island. 5 points up to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Trailing 0-1. Pitcher Logan Mueller is warm, and here's the first pitch to the batter, number 6, Adam Cooper. Gets Cooper swinging for strike 1. Fastball right down the middle. Cooper batting from the right side, sees the 0-1 pitch, and that's on the outside corner. Strike 2 to the batter, Adam Cooper. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Grounded hard down the third base line. Nice backhand play by the third baseman. He fires over to first and makes the out. Really great play over there at third base by the third baseman, Joe Clement. A ball was hit right down the third base line. He had to take a step and backhand it. And then he made a good, strong throw with his back foot on the foul line behind the third base over to first to get Cooper running down the line. So mark it 5-3 for the first out. Great play. Now up to bat is number 19, the catcher, Riley Krolikowski. And Krolikowski takes a pitch low for ball 1. 1-0 is your count on Krolikowski. And he lines one right back up the middle over the top of second base. So good base hit there by Krolikowski. So he hit it right back at the pitcher. Tailing a little to the right, landed just behind second base in the infield. And that's going to draw a courtesy runner. Number 5, Nelson King, is going to come in to do the running for Krolikowski, the catcher.
Courtesy runner number 5, Nelson King.
So King stands on first with one away, brings up to bat the left fielder, number 4, Blake Lighting. Lighting's first at bat against the pitcher, Mueller. Righty on righty. Mueller paying careful attention to the runner at first. Now he comes set. Pickoff attempt, and King's able to dive in safely. Plenty of time as it wasn't really close. But you can see that Mueller is paying close attention to King there on first. Looks at the runner. Now comes set. Here's the 0-0 delivery, and it's hit high in the air into shallow center field. The center fielder's coming in, calls the ball. He almost overran it as he had to put in the brakes and actually lunge backwards to make the catch. Stayed on his feet, though, and that's out number 2.
Third baseman, Javier Cruz.
On the play, King was not able to advance the first, as again, it was a very shallow hit. High but shallow hit to center field. And it brings up number 18, the third baseman, Javier Cruz. Pickoff attempt by Mueller, trying to get King sleeping over there. And tag was put on at close play, but the ball was not in the first baseman's glove. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Another one hit right up the middle. And the second baseman, who was moving towards second as the runner was stealing, boots the play there. He actually overran the ball at second. That's going to be scored an error on the second baseman as he was in position to make the play. Krolikowski is advanced all the way around to third on the play as he was stealing. And Cruz is standing on first base on the error. So runners on the corners, and Kian Wentling gets his second chance against Mueller. Wentling in the first inning led off the game for 5 points bank with a single. And if he can do the same thing now, he'll tie this contest up. Mueller looks in, runners on the corners. Here's the 0-0 pitch, fastball right on the outside corner for strike 1. So good pitch there by Mueller. Kind of a double-edged sword here. He's got 2 outs, so any kind of ground ball should get him out of the inning. But on the same token, gives up a base hit, and is for sure going to score the runner at third in Krolikowski. Here's the pitch, and it's hit into center field. The center fielder's retreating, but he's got a beat on it. He lost it in the sun, as at the last second, the sun glare got right in his eyes. He wasn't able to complete the catch. So on the sun-aided hit, it was a big hit to center field. It's 400 feet to center here, and that ball probably traveled 350. The center fielder was running back, looked like he had a beat on the ball to make the catch, and at the last second, he veered away from the ball and kind of reached out as it looks like he had to have lost in the sun. You can't give him an error on losing one in the sun, so that ends up being a triple.
Number 2, shortstop, Jay Gustafson.
And 2 RBIs for Wentling. So Wentling having a good day. 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs as both Krolikowski and Cruz scored on the play. Brings up to bat Gustafson. And Gustafson takes a big cut at the first pitch he sees from Mueller and misses 0-1. Gustafson, the shortstop, his first time up was asked to lay down a sacrifice bunt and executed it very well. So technically 0 for 0 on the contest. He fouls the second offering back to the backstop, and the count quickly is 0-2. So 0-2 on the batter Gustafson. Kian Wentling standing over on third, 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Is 5 points now, has a 2-1 lead. Here's the 0-2 delivery from Mueller. Curveball that didn't quite make it back to the inside corner. Good pitch, but not over the plate. 1-2 is your count. Gustafson batting from the right side as Mueller steps on the rubber, glances over at the runner at third. Comes set, and here's the 1-2 delivery. Fastball, hit it foul to the right side, and out of play down the right field line. So way back into the throwing complex. If you've never been here at Gretna's field, Gretna High School Complex has 3 fields, a full-size baseball field, 320 down the lines, and 400 to straightaway center, and then 2 softball fields, one that's used by the girls' Gretna varsity high school team, and then a practice field. And then to the right field side of the baseball field, there's a throwing, and this pitch completely gets away from Mueller as he airmails his catcher, almost hits the backstop in the air, throwing over the top of the runner. And Wentling is going to come in. There's no doubt that that one's going to be scored a wild pitch, as that just simply slipped out of Mueller's hand. Getting back to what I was saying, down the right field line, there's actually kind of a slope and a hill, and that's the throwing area for the Gretna track complex over there. So, beautiful and expansive complex. 2-2 pitch, and Mueller's mad. You can tell that Mueller's mad because he overthrew that pitch and basically spiked it into the dirt very wide of the plate. So the count is 3-2. with 5 points. Bank now leading the contest 3-1 here in the bottom of the second. Full count with 2 outs to the batter, Jay Gustafson. And the full count pitch misses low, and Gustafson is going to take a base on balls. So Gustafson walks, and we're going to have a timeout on the field. As it looks like not only is the catcher for First State Bank, Herring, going to go out and meet with his pitcher, but it looks like the coach is going to come out and have a little discussion with him as well. So bottom of the second inning here from Gretna. This is Game 7 if you're looking at your bracket. This is the first time we're getting a chance to watch 5 Points Bank in action this tournament. And 5 Points has scored 3 runs so far here in the bottom of the second inning. They're now leading this contest by a score of 3-1. Due up to bat is going to be number 16, the first baseman, Noah Halsey. Halsey, whose first at-bat resulted in a walk, gets ready to step in at the plate. Jay Gustafson, the shortstop, who laid down a sacrifice in the first and now walked here in the second, stands over at first.
Now batting number 16.
After the mound meeting, Halsey, the first baseman, batting from the left-hand side, steps into the box. Mueller comes set. Here's the delivery. It's hit way up in the air, but very short. Shortstop and second baseman go back. Shortstop makes the play just behind the infield line there behind second base for out number 3. 7 batters come to the plate, and the damage is done as 5 Point Banks goes ahead and scores 3 runs there in the bottom of the second. We're heading to the third inning of play here in Gretna. Your score after 2 complete is First State Bank of Fremont 1, 5 Point Bank of Grand Island 3. We'll be back with the third inning in just a little bit. Thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com. And we're back for the top of the third inning here from Gretna in the Area 6 Class A Juniors Tournament. Pitcher Brendan Mendez from the full windup delivers to the leadoff batter, number 10, right fielder Zach Stevens. First pitch offering is going to miss outside for ball 1. Stevens' first at bat comes here in the top of the third. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's in there on the inside corner for a strike. 1-1. The count to the right fielder, number 10, Zach Stevens. Mendez, the right-handed pitcher. Stevens, the right-handed batter. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball that misses just downstairs, and the count's 2-1. Just starting the third inning with Fremont trailing 1-3, but have a chance to add some runs here in the third. Fastball inside, fought off, hit off the handle, and fouled weakly to the right side of the plate. Only went about 15 to 25 feet total. Hit it right off the handle, right off the grip of the bat, so the count is 2-2. Mendez delivers the 2-2 pitch, and another one hit off the handle. That one, the catcher lost it off the bat, so he's turning around looking for it. The ball landed actually inside the circle at home plate, and it landed just probably about a foot foul, but with the spin, it kicked way foul. So lucky on that one that it didn't end up being a cheap base hit. 2-2 remains the count. He steps back in, and he gasses it by him. Fastball by Mendez. And Stevens can't catch up to it, so that's a strikeout for out number 1.
Number 3, center fielder Eli Herring.
Brings up to bat the center fielder, number 3, Eli Herring. Herring's first at bat in the first inning. He reached on an error by the third baseman. And he takes the first pitch from Mendez on the outside corner for strike 1. So Mendez looking strong, hitting his places. The 0-1 offering blows it by him. 0-2. Swing and a miss. 2 consecutive fastballs. Mendez from the full lineup delivers to Herring on the 0-2 pitch. Misses low and away. 1-2 is your count. One-two count here in Gretna as Mendez delivers. That one's also low and away, almost carbon copy of the previous pitch. So Herring runs the count to 2-2. Herring steps in from the right side. Mendez from the full windup gets his sign, delivers the 2-2 offering, misses outside and up. 3-2. And I'll have to take the blame for this because I just mentioned that it looked like he was really sharp and was hitting his spots. The last 3 pitches as he's missed. Here's the full count delivery. Fastball fouled back to the backstop. We'll do it again. 3-2. So 3 games on the slate. We had a losers bracket elimination game earlier where Columbus Red was eliminated by Dinsdale out of Grand Island. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball misses low. Over the plate, but just not high enough. And Herrick's going to reach on the walk. So with 1 down, it brings up number 4, the second baseman, Brody Sintek. Sintek in the first inning was asked to lay down a sacrifice bunt, and he executed it very well as well. Sees the first offering from Mendez. A fastball low in the dirt outside, ball 1. So Herrick standing on first with 1 away. Sintek in the box. Herrick takes his lead off first. Mendez comes set. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman. Might be a double play ball. No, he bobbles it, so he's going to have to take the play at first. So he got something out of the play as Sintek hit the ball right to the second baseman. Second baseman didn't field it cleanly, but knocked it down and was able to pick it back up. Throw it over to first base for the second out of the inning. On the play, Herrick did advance to second, so a runner on second with 2 down brings up the shortstop, number 20, Mitchell Glaus. Glaus grounded into a fielder's choice, his first at bat, and he takes the first pitch from Mendez on the inside corner, fastball for strike 1. So 0-1 to the count to Glaus. Herrick with the lead, and Mendez spins and looks back at second, but holds on to the ball. And we're going to have a little conversation as the catcher calls timeout. So Krolikowski heads out to the mound, has a little chat with Brendan Mendez, heads back to the plate. We're going to do it all again. 0-1's your count on the batter, number 20, the shortstop, Mitchell Glaus. Eli Herrick standing on second. Pitcher Brendan Mendez comes set. Here's the delivery, and it's a foul ball hit off the handle and dribbled out towards the third base dugout. Not going to quite make it there. 0-2's your count to the batter, Glaus. Herrick takes his lead. Mendez comes set, checks him there at second. Looks in and delivers. Fastball that bounces up to the catcher. 1-2. Mendez comes set. Here's the 1-2 delivery to Glaus. Fastball that missed just low. Right over the plate, but just low. 2-2. It's a good pitch with 2 strikes. Keeping it down, you're not going to get hurt. So here's the 2-2 delivery. Curveball that's hit hard. The second baseman ranges to his right, makes the play backhand, sets his back foot, and fires over to first for the third out of the inning. So that ball was hit sharply by Glaus, but it was hit within range of the second baseman, who backhanded it, threw it over to first. And no damage is done in the top of the third inning. Your score going into the bottom of the third is First State Bank of Fremont 1, 5 Points Bank of Grand Island 3. We'll be back here with the bottom of the third with 5 Points Bank batting right after these messages. Thank you for listening to us on GretnaBaseball.com. Hey, by the way, if you're online listening to it and you hit the little chat window, it looks like a talk balloon. If you have any comments or you want to send me a chat, feel free to do that. We'd love to hear what you're thinking on GretnaBaseball.com. We'll be back with the bottom of the third. The bottom of the third inning. 5 Points Bank leading in this game 3-1. And they're up to bat here in the bottom of the third. Leading off is going to be number 9, Carson Ahoy. And Ahoy wastes no time, hits the first pitch crisply. Hits a crisp one-hopper to the second baseman. Second baseman takes it, flips it over to first for out number 1. So that's being efficient there by Mueller. 1 pitch, 1 out. Because I didn't even get a chance to introduce Mr. Cahoy. That was Carson Cahoy, the right fielder, number 9, who just grounded out to second for the first out of the inning. Brings up to bat number 12, the designated hitter, Ryan Melvin, batting from the left side of the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. It's on the inside corner for strike 1. So 0-1 count to the designated hitter, Melvin. Melvin previously in the first inning grounded out to the second baseman. Now he takes a pitch in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1's your count to the designated hitter, Melvin. So good ball game moving along briskly here at Gretna. Mueller, the pitcher, from the full windup. Here's the delivery. Fastball misses outside and low for ball 2. 2-1 is your count. Mueller, from the full windup, here's the 2-1 delivery. Hard ball hit just past the outstretched arms of the first baseman. So that one's between the first-second gap, and that's a base hit for Ryan Melvin. So he's now 1 for 2 on the day.
Number 6, second baseman, Adam Cooper.
And it brings up to bat the second baseman, number 6, Adam Cooper. Cooper, in the second inning, led off with a ground out to the third baseman. And now he comes up with Melvin on first base and 1 away here in the bottom of the third. Mueller comes set, delivers to the plate, swing and a miss on a high fastball. Swung right through it. Strike 1. So 0-1 is your count to Cooper. Cooper with 1 foot out of the box, looks down at third, gets the signals from his coach. Melvin leads off first, and he's able to get back on the pickoff attempt. And Cooper steps back in. Mueller back on the rubber. Comes set. And here's the pitch. Runner is moving on the pitch. Pitch is called the ball. Throw down to second is in time, but the shortstop dropped the ball on the tag. So Melvin's going to be in there safely. As the count goes to 1-1 on the batter, Cooper. So Melvin with the stolen base moves up to second. 1-1 on the batter Cooper with one away here in the bottom of the third. Here's the 1-1 delivery from Mueller. And it's hit up in the air, but not very far in foul territory. The third baseman makes the catch and jogs back towards his position to make sure the runner can't advance. So Cooper with the fly out to the third baseman is now 0 for 2 on the day.
Catcher Riley Krolikowski.
And that will bring up the catcher number 19, Riley Krolikowski. Krolikowski was the second batter in the second inning and started the scoring for 5 Points Bank because he led off with a single and came around to score one of the 3 runs on the board. He takes the first pitch, a curveball that misses down low. 1-0 is your count to the batter, Krolikowski. So Krolikowski at the plate with a 1-0 count. Melvin standing at second. Mueller comes set. Here's the 1-0 pitch. No, it's a pickoff attempt. They had a planned pickoff attempt on. Shortstop came in around the runner trying to pick him off, but the shortstop and second baseman almost collided on the play at second base. Melvin gets his lead again. Mueller comes set, and here's the delivery, and that one got way away from him. I don't know what it's almost like he's trying to throw a knuckleball or something, but whatever it was, probably shouldn't be a pitch that he goes back to. As this one actually flew over the batter and all the way to the backstop. On the wild pitch, Melvin's going to move up to third base, and the count goes to 2-0 on Krolikowski. Mueller comes set. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Fastball on the inside corner and low. 3-0 is your count to Krolikowski. And Mueller wanted that one. Kind of looked in at home plate and bent over like he couldn't believe he didn't get that call. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Krolikowski. Fastball that misses inside off the plate, and on 4 straight pitches, Krolikowski draws a walk.
Number 4, left fielder Blake Lighting.
So that will put runners on the corners, and once again coming in to be the courtesy runner for Krolikowski is number 5, Nelson King.
Number 5, Nelson King.
So King standing over at first, Melvin over at third. 2 away now as Blake Lighting, the left fielder, number 4, steps in. First pitch that he sees from Mueller is a called balk. He didn't come set, so there is no pitch. It doesn't count as a ball or a strike. But on the balk, Melvin's going to come in and score, and Krolikowski moves up to second. So one of those plays where you've got to come set as a pitcher from the stretch, and he'd been dangerously close to blowing through it a couple of times, and this time the umpire called it. So balk was called. It's a no pitch, so here's the 0-0 delivery to Lighting. And that's the first pitch for strike 1. So 0-1, 1 strike to the batter, Blake Lighting. This pitch misses just outside fastball, and the count's evened up at 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Lighting. Hard ground ball hit in the hole between third baseman and shortstop. The runner's going to round. Left fielder's up, hits the cutoff. The throw to the plate is not going to be in time. Skips away from the catcher. And Lighting, with the RBI base hit, is going to advance over to second. So we'll call it an RBI single for him as the runner just kept moving.
Number 18.
And Nelson King, who had been moved up to second because of the balk, King just kept a trucking on the slow grounder between the shortstop and third baseman. The left fielder scooped it up, but the throw was to the cutoff man instead of to the plate. And so King's going to score for the second time this game. Brings up the bat number 18, the third baseman Javier Cruz. Cruz reached on an error his last at bat and takes the first pitch from Mueller as a ball. Hard ground ball. Hits the third baseman in fair territory. Scoots away. He's going to try to score on the play. Great tag by the catcher. So on the play, here's what happened. It happened so quick it was hard to call. Ground ball hit by Cruz to the third baseman. The third baseman went to field it. He missed it and it hit his legs and popped off towards the shortstop. The runner who was moving to third base at the time on the hit, Blake Lighting, tried rounding third and tried to score. The throw from the shortstop to home plate was actually up the line a little bit, but the catcher, and who's that catcher? That catcher is number 6, Nick Herink. Herink made a jumping catch as he moved to his left real hard to catch the ball in the air and was able to swipe down the tag and hit the runner as he went by. So great play there to keep Lighting from scoring, but 2 big runs did cross for 5 Points Bank in the bottom of the third. Going into the top of the fourth inning of play, your score from here in Gretna is First State Bank of Fremont 1, 5 Points Bank of Grand Island 5. We'll be back after this on GretnaBaseball.com.
Points, cash, gear, sports. With a Dick's Scorecard, you earn points on all your purchases and get 3% back in rewards and access to exclusive deals and events. It's simple. Points lead to cash to buy gear so you can play more sports. Get your Dick's Scorecard and start earning reward certificates today. Every season starts at Dick's.
And we're back and we're ready for the top of the 6th inning of play. Sorry, top of the 4th inning of play. I don't know what I'm thinking here. You didn't miss 2 innings. I just misspoke. Top of the 4th inning. And the catcher, Nick Herink, sees the first pitch from Mendez and fouls it out of play on the right side.
Return those foul balls, collect 50 cents, courtesy of American National Bank and Speedy Mark.
Herink, who just made a great play as the catcher, is the first one up to bat. And on the 0-1 pitch, he takes a curveball, swings and misses. It's 0-2. Herink batting from the right side against the righty Mendez. Here's the 0-2 delivery from the full windup. Pitch comes in and it's a fastball that misses way upstairs, 1-2. So again, Herink made just a great play on that tag there to end the 3rd inning. And now he's down 1-2. And that's a ball that's driven well into the left center gap. That's going to be extra bases. Herink rounds second. The ball's still bouncing around. Finally just now picked up by the left fielder as Herink coasts into second base. So a great hit by Herink as it was driven into the gap in left center field, rolled all the way back to the fence in the outfield. So Herink leads off the top of the 4th with a double.
Pitcher Logan Mueller.
In to run is number 36, John Clement. So Clement is going to run on behalf of the catcher, Herink. Brings up to bat number 12, the pitcher, Logan Mueller. Mueller is 1 for 1 with a double in the 2nd inning. He takes the first pitch out off the plate for ball 1 from Mendez.
Second base number 36, John Clement.
So 1-0 is your count to the batter, pitcher Logan Mueller. Mendez comes set. Clement now running at second, gets his lead. Here's the delivery to the plate. Fastball on the inside corner. 1-1 is your count. So good pitch there. That's a strike right there. So he burned the inside corner. 1-1. Pitcher against pitcher. Here's the delivery from Mendez on the 1-1 count. Hard hit ball is between the first and second baseman. We'll get out to the right fielder. The runner rounds third. But the coach is going to put up the stop sign there. So runners on the corners and no outs. Logan Mueller, the pitcher, doing his best to help his own cause as he's now 2 for 2 on the day.
Number 34, first baseman Brennan Callahan.
And this brings up to bat the first baseman, number 34, Brendan Callahan. Callahan was put out on a fielder's choice from the shortstop to the first baseman in the second inning. He steps in to face Mendez for the second time. Mendez comes set and delivers with runners on the corners. Fastball on the inside corner for strike one. Good pitch on the high end of the strike zone. Little tailing action as it tailed into the hands of the batter. 0-1's the count. Herink standing on third. Clement standing on third. And this ball's hit to right field. It might stay fair right on the line. And it's just foul. Just foul as the umpire was right on the foul line and walking towards the ball. Great positioning. Again, I said this earlier in the earlier broadcast. You know, you're always going to have a few calls that you disagree with, but for the most part, really quality crews that we have had so far for this Area 6 tournament, and that was no exception. As the plate ump was in great positioning there to make that call, standing right on the foul line and walking towards the ball. Pickoff attempt at first, and he's going to be safe. 0-2 is your count to the batter, number 34, Brendan Callahan. So Command, who's running for Herink, is on third. Mueller on first. No outs. Here's the pitch, and that one's driven to left field. Just a blooper over the infield. That's a base hit for Callahan, and that's going to be an RBI as it scores John Clement, who is pinch running or courtesy running for the catcher. So they've cut into the deficit, and still nobody away here in the top of the fourth inning.
Number 23, third baseman, Joe Clement.
Brings up the third baseman, number 23, Joe Clement. Clement, who batted last in the second inning, grounded out to the shortstop. And he comes out with no outs and runners on first and second. Mendez delivers the pitch, bunt attempt, and it's bunted foul. So Clement, let's see if he bunts again, but they may be thinking put both of these runners in scoring position. Trade the out for runners in scoring position. So 0-1's the count. Defensively, the first baseman is way in on the grass. The third baseman is playing in, but still back on the dirt. The first baseman is pre-charged because he's showing bunt. He's only about 40 feet from the plate. The bunt goes right back to the first baseman. To the pitcher, he tries throwing to third and airmails the third baseman. So the runner moving to third is going to come in to score. The runner that was moving to second is going to end up on third. Clement, who just put on a sacrifice literally right back to the pitcher, is going to end up with a fielder's choice. He's going to be standing on first. And on the error by the pitcher, Mendez, Mueller comes in to score. So still nobody out with runners on the corners. And First State Bank has cut into the lead of 5 points, and the score is 3-5. And that's going to draw a mound meeting from the coach. So what should have been a routine put out at first turned into a snowball fight. And when that happens, bad things happen. So mound visit's still going on in the mound. So kind of recap this inning so far. Herink, the catcher, led off with a double. John Clement came in to courtesy run for him. Mueller, the pitcher, came up with a single of his own. And then Callahan came up, and he followed with a single that scored Clement, who is pinch running. Mueller came around to score on the sacrifice bunt attempt that ended up in an overthrow to third base that scored him. So right now we're in the top of the fourth inning with nobody down and runners on the corners. And up comes number 16 left fielder Justin Pemberton. Pemberton flew out to the first baseman in his first at-bat. And this pitch, he shows bunt, but pulls it back because the pitch is out of the zone. 1-0. So 1-0 count to Pemberton. Callahan standing on third. Clement over on first. Mendez checks the runner at first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball that misses low and outside. 2-0. So what had been a fast game is definitely slowing down as more runs are being scored. Nobody down, runners on the corners, and Pemberton up with a 2-0 count That pitch misses inside. Fastball inside off the plate. And it's 3-0 to Pemberton. The coach not even making an attempt on third to hide the take signal as he just held out a hand and basically said no. So I don't think you'll see Mr. Pemberton swing at this pitch. 3-0 delivery from Mendez. Right down the tubes. No swing. Strike one. 3-1's the count to the batter, Pemberton. Pemberton steps in. Mendez comes set. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball up the middle to the second baseman. He bobbles it but flips it over to the shortstop. Shortstop over to first, and they turn the double play. So a runner's going to come in to score as Callahan scores on the play. But Pemberton grounds into what ends up being a 4-6-3 double play for the first and second out of the inning. So that's going to clear the bases, and coming into bat is number 15, Colin Dorfmeyer, batting in place of Zach Stevens, who started in right field. Colin Dorfmeyer at the plate. Yep. So Dorfmeyer steps in for the first time facing Mendez. Score now is First State Bank 4, 5 Points Bank 5. Ground ball to the shortstop. Fields it cleanly, fires across the first, and that's the end of the inning. As Dorfmeyer was in for one pitch and saw one pitch, grounded it right to the shortstop to end the inning.
For First State Bank in the top of the fourth inning, 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 error.
So in the top of the fourth inning, First State Bank, Fremont, 3 runs crossed for him on a double and 2 consecutive singles, so 3 straight base hits. And they've cut into the lead tremendously as now they only trail by 1. Going to the bottom of the fourth inning, your score is First State Bank 4, 5 Points Bank 5. 5 Points is going to get a chance to bat in the fourth inning when we come back. Thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com. Let me console quickly with our scorekeeper. We're going to call it an error on the shortstop. Now batting is number 2, the shortstop, Jay Gustafson. So Gustafson comes up to the bat. Ladies and gentlemen, I accidentally still had it on mute here as I was trying to do a couple of things. So Wentling led off the inning for 5 Points Bank. Here's a line drive to center field. Great play by the center fielder. He makes the catch. He might double the runner off. No, he short-hopped the first baseman. Okay, so to recap what has happened so far for you, Wentling led off the inning. Wentling grounded to the shortstop. The shortstop, when he threw to first, threw it a little bit high, and the first baseman left his feet. The ball hit his glove and dropped to the ground. So Wentling reached on the error. Gustafson, the shortstop, came up as the second batter and hit a line drive that the shortstop, the center fielder, was able to charge in on and make the catch in shallow center field for the out. So that was the first out. That's F8 for out number 1. On that play, Wentling was almost all the way to second base when the center fielder caught the ball. Center fielder made the throw trying to double him up at first base, but the throw short hopped the first baseman and he wasn't able to make the scoop. It got by him, but Wentling just stayed safely at first. So now up to bat is Noah Halsley, the first baseman, and he just takes a 1-0 offering, hits it over the second baseman into right center field, and even with a strong throw by the center fielder in, Wentling, who is really motoring on the play, moves from first all the way around to third, and Halsey ends up on first. So I think I've got you caught up here.
Carson Cahoy.
As Carson Cahoy, the right fielder, number 9, steps into the plate with runners on the corners and 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now Cahoy in his previous at-bat struck out swinging and grounded out to the second baseman, so he's 0 for 2 on the day, but has an opportunity to drive in a run here with the runner standing at third base. Pitcher Logan Mueller delivers, and it's way up and in, ball 1. So 1-0 is your count on the batter, Cahoy. Wentling on third, Halsey on first. Your pitcher, Logan Miller, who started the game and is still in. Miller comes set. Here's the delivery. That's a fastball on the outside corner that's called a strike. Had a little cut to it. Might have been a cut fastball or a slider. Kind of hard because there wasn't a whole lot of movement on it, but it caught the outside corner, and it's called for strike 1. 1-1 is the count as Mueller comes set again. And this one's popped up high in the air to shallow center field, actually just in back of second base. Shortstop ranges over and makes the catch. The runner at third kind of acted like he was fake tagging up, but I don't think he's going to run from 130 feet away. I think the shortstop wins that one. So runner's still in the corner after Cahoy flies out to the shortstop for out number 2. So brings up the designated hitter, Ryan Melvin. Melvin, 1 for 2 on the day as the left-handed hitter grounded out to the second baseman his first at-bat, then had a single his second at-bat. He comes up with 2 down and runners on the corners, and there's a pickoff attempt by Mueller. Now, he used what I call a balk move, ladies and gentlemen, which is he flexed his front leg before he made the turn, and he got away with it this time, and he almost picked off the runner because of it. So that's a tricky move, but technically it's a balk. But somehow, Halsey got back in there safely. Here's the first pitch to the plate to Melvin, and it's a fastball that misses high for ball 1. So bottom of the 4th inning, designated hitter Halsey steps in. Designated hitter Melvin steps in. Takes the pitch low and inside for ball 2. 2-0's your count. For those of you just joining us, bottom of the 4th inning, First State Bank is trailing 5 Points Bank 4-5. 5 Points is batting with 2 outs and runners on the corners. And there's a fastball right on the outside corner for strike 1. So 2-1 is your count to the batter, Melvin. Mueller comes set on the mound. Here's the 2-1 delivery, and it's fouled out of play straight over the top of the backstop.
Return those foul balls, collect 50 cents, courtesy of Speedy Mart and American National Bank.
So 2-2 is your count to the designated hitter, Melvin. Halsey on first, Wentling standing on third. Mueller comes set and delivers 2-2 pitch, fouled out of play on the left side. So over the top of the bleachers here on the third base line and back onto the softball field. 2-2. Good ball game here. 4-5 in the bottom of the 4th. Pitcher, number 12, Logan Mueller, comes set on the mound. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Fouled back into the backstop. So that's 3 consecutive foul balls there by the designated hitter, Melvin. He keeps fighting off pitches, trying to get something he can drive. 2-2 is the count. Here's the delivery. Another one. That's 4 in a row that he's fouled up and out of play.
Return that foul ball, collect 50 cents, courtesy of Speedy Mart and American National Bank.
So Melvin, as 50 cents a ball is what's paid here at the concession stand, is currently worth at least $2, standing youngster out there. Stands in at the plate. Here's the 2-2 delivery from Mueller. And that one's fouled off, but it stays in play as it's just fouled hard on the ground down the right field line. So that's the 5th consecutive foul ball. So he's making Mueller throw a lot of pitches. On the play, Halsey had taken off from first, and he'll have to return. So runners still at the corners. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that one's hit back up the middle, but not real hard at the pitcher. He gets out of the way, but it ends up bouncing nicely right to second base, where the shortstop was able to range over easily and catch the ball with his foot on the base at the same time. So that ends up being a fielder's choice, and Halsey is put out 6 unassisted for the 3rd out of the inning. So 5 Points Bank brings 5 batters up to the plate. Had runners at the corners, but they can't push in another run. Going into the top of the 5th inning of play, your score remains First State Bank of Fremont 4, 5 Point Banks of Grand Island 5. We'll be back in just a little bit with the top of the 5th inning. Thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com. Baseball fans, this broadcast of the Nebraska American Legion Area 6 Juniors Tournament is brought to you by our sponsors. One such sponsor is Kirsten Construction of Gretna, Nebraska, a full-service underground utility contractor, providing quality service to residential, industrial, and commercial clients in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. They provide free estimates. Give them a call. Services include underground utilities, water and sewer line repairs, and snow removal. And Kirsten Precast Concrete products include manholes, septic tanks, and special orders. Give Kirsten Construction a call at 402-332-4141, a proud sponsor of American Legion Baseball. And we're back, top of the 5th inning here in Nebraska American Legion Area 6 Class A Juniors Baseball action. First State Bank of Fremont trailing 5 Points Bank of Grand Island 4-5. But Eli Herring comes up to bat for First State Bank. So the center fielder, Herring, takes the first pitch as a called strike on the outside corner. Mendez, still the pitcher, from the full windup, fires again. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Herring, who's 0 for 1 on the day, reached on an error by the third baseman and then walked in the 3rd inning. Leads off here in the 5th. And the 0-2 pitch misses just a little bit wide. Count goes to 1-2. So Mendez from the full lineup. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Right down the middle and fouled back out of play over the press box. Count remains 1-2.
Foul ball, collect 50 cents, courtesy of Speedy Mart and American National Bank.
1-2 delivery forthcoming from Mendez again. Here it is. Curveball. Sat on it and hammered a line drive, but hammered the line drive right at the third baseman. So catch is made there by the third baseman for out number 1.
Second baseman, Brody Sintek.
And again, Mendez tried to fool him with a curveball in the inside corner. He did a good job of sitting back on it and hit a hard line drive. He just happened to hit it right at the third baseman. Your batter now is Brody Sintek, and he takes the first offering from Mendez and fouls it onto the top of the press box here. So Sintek, who wears the number 4 and is playing second base, sacrificed bunt in the first and grounded out to second in the 3rd. And in the 5th, he takes the second pitch high for ball 1. 1-1 is your count to the batter, Brody Sintek. Sintek batting from the right side against the right-handed pitcher, Brendan Mendez. Mendez delivers and misses wide. 2-1 is your count. So real solid crowd here at the ball field tonight, as all of the bleachers are full. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Mendez to the batter, Sintek. Hard hit into the right center field gap, and that's going to get down. That's going to be at least one. Center fielder gets to it quickly and returns the ball. Sintek took a big hard round at first base, but he'll put on the brakes. And he's back in with a single. So a good piece of hitting by Sintek. Just went with the pitch and hit it out to right center field. This brings up the shortstop, number 20, Mitchell Glaus. Glaus on the day is 0 for 2 and a fielder's choice and a ground out to second. And he takes the first pitch from Mendez, a fastball in the inside corner at the knees for strike one. So 0-1's the count to Glaus. Sintek on first with a small lead. Mendez comes to the plate, and there's a hit to right field. The right fielder's coming forward and makes a diving, sliding catch. He tries firing to first to try to double off the runner, and he airmails the first baseman. Great catch out there in right field. And that's Carson Cahoy out there. Great catches. He had to come in a hurry on that ball, then made the catch as he was going down into a slide. So that's 2 away. And it brings up to bat number 6, the catcher, Nick Herrick. Herrick 1 for 2 with a ground out to the second baseman and a double in the fourth. And there's another base hit for him as he hits one right back up the middle, just to the right side of second. Center fielder comes up with a quick and will try firing all the way to third. He's not going to get him at third, and because the throw went through without a cutoff, Sintek is safe at third, and Herrick, with the single, now is standing on second base as he advanced on the throw. So Herrick is going to get a courtesy runner again, and again it's going to be number 36, John Clement, who comes off the bench to do the running for the big catcher.
Your batter, number 12, pitcher Logan Mueller.
And we've got a timeout on the field as the coach from 5 Points Bank is going to come out to the mound to take a little visit with his pitcher. And we'll have to see what's going on, but looks like that's going to be the end of the ball game for Brendan Mendez. So Mendez is going to head off still with the lead, but he is responsible for the runners on second and third. And checking into the game for Mendez is number 12. And number 12 is the designated hitter. So the designated hitter is gone, and Melvin comes in simply as the pitcher. He's already checked into the lineup, so there's no batting change. He's just going to bat.
Ryan Melvin.
So Ryan Melvin's going to come in, and while he's throwing his warm-up pitches, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with the rest of the top of the fifth in just a moment. And we're back with the pitching change for 5 Points Bank. It's number 12, Ryan Melvin, who was already the designated hitter, so he's in the lineup and batting, and he's going to come in and do the pitching. So the only change in the lineup is that Mendez just goes away. There is no longer a designated hitter in the lineup, as he eats up that designated hitter spot to come in as a pitcher. So the lefty Melvin, his first pitch to the batter, number 12, Logan Mueller, is a strike on the outside corner. Lefty versus lefty here. Left-hander on the mound, left-hander at the plate. And there's a curveball that pops away from the catcher. The runner's going to try to score from third. And the catcher, instead of making the throw to the pitcher who was there covering, tried beating the runner to the plate, and the runner won the foot race. So Syntec is going to come in and score. And we have a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Herrick moves up to third on the play. And it's a 1-1 count on the pitcher, Logan Mueller. So 1-1 is your count. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Fouled back into the backstop. 1-2 is your count to the batter, Logan Mueller. Mueller, who bats from the left side against the new left-handed pitcher, fouls that one just back over the umpire, right back to the backstop. So the count remains 1-2. So Melvin, again, who's been playing all game as a designated hitter, now steps out on the mound. Here's the 1-2 pitch, grounded hard down the line to the first baseman. He steps in front of it, makes the play, and he wins the foot race, but not by much. He started coasting the first like it was going to be an easy play. And Mueller, big credit to Mueller because he hustled that one out, and at the end turned into a true foot race, and the first baseman got there just a beat ahead of him.
For Fremont First State Bank in the top of the fifth inning.
So that's the end of the top of the fifth.
And no error.
Going into the bottom of five, we've got fives across the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. First State Bank 5. 5 Points Bank 5 in the fifth inning. We'll be back in just a little bit with the bottom of the fifth inning with 5 Points Bank batting right after these messages. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors at GretnaBaseball.com.
Points, cash, gear, sports. With a Dick Scorecard, you earn points on all your purchases and get 3% back in rewards and access to exclusive deals and events. It's simple. Points lead to cash to buy gear so you can play more sports. Get your Dick's Scorecard and start earning reward certificates today. Every season starts at Dick's.
Baseball fans, this broadcast of the Nebraska American Legion Area 6 Juniors Tournament is brought to you by our sponsors. One such sponsor is Kirsten Construction of Gretna, Nebraska, a full-service underground utility contractor, providing quality service to residential, industrial, and commercial clients in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. They provide free estimates. Give them a call. Services include underground utilities, water and sewer line repairs, and snow removal. And Kirsten Precast Concrete products include manholes, septic tanks, and special orders. Give Kirsten Construction a call at 402-332-4141, a proud sponsor of American Legion Baseball. And we're back here in Gretna at the bottom of the fifth inning. Tie ball game at 5 apiece, and leading it off for 5 points will be number 6, second baseman Adam Cooper. Cooper takes the first pitch way up and in, a little chin music on that one for ball one. So the pitcher is still Mueller, still out on the mound. He started the game and he's still going. And Mueller's second pitch misses up and in as well. 2-0 to the batter, Adam Cooper. Tie ball game here. It's been a well-played ball game for the most part. Here's the 2-0 delivery. That's right on the inside corner at the waist for strike one. 2-1's your count to the batter, Cooper. Cooper's 0 for 2 on the day, grounding out to the third baseman and flying out to the third baseman in foul territory. And here he takes a hack at a pitch that's eye high and inside. Helps the pitcher Mueller out with that one. So instead of being 3-1, it's 2-2. Here's the 2-2 delivery from Mueller. And that one's in the dirt and outside, but he swings after it. Throw down from the catcher to first is in time. He says yes, he kept his foot on the bag. And so that's a strikeout with the put out on the drop third strike by the catcher, 2-3 for the first out. So Riley Krolikowski comes up to bat. And Krolikowski so far having a good game. He is 1 for 1 with a base hit in the second, and then he walked in the third. He steps into the plate from the right side. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside. He thought about it, but he didn't swing. And looks like I missed a pitch. That was the second pitch, so it's 2-0. There's a fastball that comes in right down the middle with no swing. 2-1 to Krolikowski. Mueller from the full windup. Here's the 2-1 delivery to Krolikowski. Fastball that stays a little upstairs on the inside corner. 3-1 is your count. So 3-1 is your count on the batter Krolikowski. One down here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Hard hit ball to the third baseman. He tries to backhand it and boots it. That's one of those where if he had taken a half step more, he could have fielded it between his legs. But instead he tried a backhand because the footwork wasn't there. And that ends up being an error on the third baseman. So Krolikowski reaches safely, and once again, as has been the pattern the whole game, number 5, Nelson King, comes in to do the running for him. So King was over there at second getting a lead. Lighting, the left fielder, comes into bat. There's a pickoff attempt that gets away from the first baseman, and Nelson King's going to move up to second. So one down here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And on the errant throw, the runner will advance. Lighting stands in looking for his first pitch of the inning. A hard ground ball to the third baseman, and that one's booted at third base. The runner's going to advance to third because nobody's covering. So 2 consecutive errors over at third base. And Lighting reaches on the error. Krolikowski King, who's running for Krolikowski, moves up to third.
Number 18, third baseman, Javier Cruz.
Brings up to bat the third baseman, Javier Cruz. Cruz on the day is 0 for 2, but he's reached twice. He's reached on an error, and would have reached on an error if it wouldn't have been for a put out on one of the other runners. So 2 errors is how he's batted. First pitch that he sees from Mueller misses inside and low for ball 1. Runners on the corner, 1 away. 1-0 count to Javier Cruz. Pitcher Mueller comes set, looks in and delivers. Fastball that gets away from the catcher. Dribbles back towards the backstop, but not all the way back. The runner's going to come in to score easily. As the throw to the pitcher covering was up the line a little bit. The pitcher missed it, but the runner at first will only advance to second. But King, as the courtesy runner, comes in to score. Excuse me. King has now scored, ladies and gentlemen, every time he's come in to run for Krolikowski. So that's 3 runs. If you don't think a courtesy runner can be important to your team, having good speed on the base pass, he has crossed the plate 3 times for 3 of the 6 runs that are on the scoreboard right now for 5 Points Bank. So 2-0 will be the count to the batter, Javier Cruz, when we resume. Right now there's a mound visit. The pitcher's out. Pitcher and coach having a talk. And it looks like they're not going to make it the change at this time. Logan Mueller's going to stay out there. He keeps stretching and working his arm like it's hurting him. I think that's what his coach is going to check on. So we're ready to resume. Mound visit's over. Everybody's back in their place. Lighting standing on second. Cruz in the box. Here's the pitch. And it's a fastball in the outside corner. Fouled back to the backstop. Count goes to 2-1. So 2-1 to the third baseman, Cruz. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Mueller. And that one's hit to the right center field gap. That's going to get down. Base hit. The right fielder comes up with the ball, fires into the infield. The first baseman runs over to cut it off as the throw is a little offline. But because he hit his cutoff man, Lighting's only going to move to third. But Cruz gets credited with a solid base hit to right field. So with a runner on third and a runner on first and one down, brings up to bat the center fielder, number 3, Kean Wentling. Wentling so far today is 2 for 3. So he has a single, a triple, and he reached his last at bat on an error by the shortstop. First pitch he sees is driven into left field. The left fielder makes a nice running catch. Runner tags up from third, and that was pretty close. It'd be interesting to see if they appeal that one. They do appeal at third, and the plate ump says yes, they tagged. So because they did it live, it's a live call. And the coach is going to come out because he's convinced that they didn't tag up. I will tell you, folks, you can leave the base as soon as the ball hits the glove. They don't have to complete the catch. So as soon as it hits the glove, you can leave, and that's exactly what happened there. As soon as it hit the glove, the runner took off. And according to the umpire, he's just fine. So that run's going to count, as Lighting is going to come in to score on what ends up being a sacrifice fly now from Wentling. So that's the second out of the inning, and the second run that's now come across. Brings up to bat the shortstop, number 2, Jake Gustafson. So Gustafson up to bat with Cruz standing on first, 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Gustafson misses low for ball 1. Here's the pitch from Logan Mueller. Gets away from the catcher as it misses off the inside corner. Count goes to 2-0. So 2-0 on the batter, Jay Gustafson. On that last pitch that got away from the catcher, Cruz moved up to second base, and now a runner standing on second with 2 down and a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch to Gustafson. Swings and fouls it back. Hits us right on top of the press box. 2-1 your count.
Return that foul ball, collect 50 cents, courtesy of Speedy Mart and American National Bank.
So 2-1 count on the batter, Gustafson. Cruz gets his lead off second. Mueller comes set on the mound. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Hard ground ball on a pitch on the outside corner. Second baseman dives for it, but he can't field it. Cruz is going to round third. And he's going to come in and score easily as there's no cut. The throw goes all the way through and past the catcher. So it went through 3 people. He sailed the first baseman. The pitcher tried to cut it and went under his glove. And then the catcher tried to block it. It rolled right under him. So it should have been a base hit. Ends up being a base hit where he ends up advancing all the way over to second.
Number 16, first baseman.
And Cruz scores on the play. So chalk that up as an RBI single with an extra base on the overthrow. So Gustafson moves to second, now batting is number 16, first baseman Noah Halsey. First pitch he sees, he strokes, but the first baseman's got it. And this first baseman isn't going to waste any time. He gets over there right away. And that's the end of the 5th inning. So kind of a wild end to the 5th inning. But 3 runs come across to break the tie ball game. Going into the top of the 6th inning, your score is First State Bank of Fremont 5, 5 Point Bank of Grand Island 8. We'll be back with the 6th inning in just a little bit. Thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com. And welcome back to Gretna. We're in the top of the 6th inning of play. And the batter is number 34, the first baseman Callahan, facing the pitcher, Melvin. The left-handed Melvin delivers the first pitch on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 to number 34, Callahan. Callahan's grounded out to short and hit a single and takes the 0-1 pitch outside off the plate. The count evens up at 1 apiece. Here's the 1-1 pitch. High fastball hit into center field. The center fielder drifts underneath it, has a bead, and makes the catch. So Callahan's put away for the first out of the inning. Brings up to bat number 23, the third baseman, Joe Clement.
Number 23, third baseman, Joe Clement.
Clement on the day is grounded out to shortstop and grounded out to the second baseman. 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch he sees. Fastball in the outside corner, swings and misses for strike 1. So 0-1 to Clement. The lefty Melvin from the full windup on the mound. Looks in, gets his sign. Here's the delivery. 0-1 pitch on its way. Fastball down in the dirt and inside, 1-1. So First State Bank drew to a tie at the end of last inning, but in the bottom of the fifth, 5 points, scored another 3 to go back ahead. 1-1 delivery misses outside and low, 2-1. So First State Bank looking to put some runs on the board and tie this thing up again as we're running out of time here in this baseball game. 2-1 pitch from Melvin. Hit in the right field. The right fielder's got a beat on it, comes in and makes the catch easily for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down brings up number 16, the left fielder, Justin Pemberton.
Right fielder, Justin Pemberton.
So did he move over to right now? I had him in left. Ball hit to the shortstop, short hopped him. He didn't catch it in the air, but he just continued through with the play and made the catch. So Pemberton ends up grounding out to the shortstop, 6-3. So 3 batters faced for Melvin in the 6th inning and 3 put down.
Top of the 6th inning, no runs.
Going into the bottom of the 6th, the score remains First State Bank of Fremont 5, 5 Points Bank of Grand Island 8. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th inning right after this. Thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com. All right, going into the bottom of the sixth inning, we have a new pitcher out there. The only thing I can tell you about the new pitcher is he's wearing the number 9. It's Caden Curry, but we have no idea who he subbed in for.
Leading off the inning, number 9, right fielder Carson Cahoy.
So Carson Cahoy is up to bat. And he's seen a couple of pitches, but I'm not sure what the count is because I lost track of that as well.
1-2.
So the count's 1-2 on the batter Carson Cahoy facing the pitcher Caden Curry.
I'm guessing that he's in for Pemberton because Mueller went to right field, is my guess.
There's a pitch that's fouled off. 1-2. So Curry now on the mound for First State Bank of Fremont. 1-2 count, fouled out of play. So looks like Logan Mueller moved out into right field. So we're guessing that the pitcher Caden Curry came in for Justin Pemberton. So Carson Cahoy on the 1-2 pitch is hit by the pitch. So he's going to advance down to first.
Number 12.
And with no outs,
Ryan Melvin.
the pitcher Ryan Melvin is up to the plate.
Thank you.
Melvin stands in, batting from the left side, and the first pitch he sees almost already in the catcher's glove before he swung, so he fouls it out of play on the left side. 0-1 is the count. So we've confirmed the changes now. Curry comes in for Pemberton, and then Mueller moved out to right field, and Curry is on the mound. 0-1 count to the batter, pitcher Ryan Melvin. That one misses away, 1-1. Bottom of the sixth inning from here in Gretna. First State Bank trailing 5 points, 5-8. And the leadoff batter for 5 points here in the bottom of the sixth was hit by the pitch, is standing at first. It's 1-1 now to the batter, Ryan Melvin. That pitch misses outside and high. 2-1 to the batter, Melvin. So Curry comes set. Here's a ground ball hit to the hole on the left side between the shortstop and third baseman. The shortstop does a smart thing. He was running towards that ball and nobody was getting to it, so he ran right through and covered third base to keep the runner from moving up. But Melvin's credited with a base hit there, as that was a hard shot in the hole.
Baseman Adam Cooper.
So Cahoy moves up to second. Melvin standing on first. And it looks like they're not going to put in a courtesy runner for Melvin. They're going to let him do his own running. And the second baseman, Cooper, steps in. He sees the first pitch, high fastball that misses. It's right over the heart of the plate, but way high above his helmet. 1-0 is your count. Again, nobody down. Runners on first and second, the bottom of the sixth. And Cooper shows bunt, but pulls it back because the pitch was outside. 2-0 is your count. So 2-0 count to Cooper. And Cooper lays down a beautiful bunt down the third base line. The third baseman was playing back because of the runner on second. So the pitcher was the only one over there to cover. The pitcher ran over and grabbed it, but Cooper just too fast down the line. And so what was supposed to be a sacrifice bunt
Catcher Riley Krolikowski.
turns into an infield base hit for Cooper. And now the bases are loaded, nobody's out. And up comes the catcher, number 19, Riley Krolikowski. Krolikowski is 1 for 2 on the day. With a single, he was walked and he reached on an error by the third baseman. He takes the first pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1 is the count. Here's the 0-1 delivery to Krolikowski. Right in there for strike 2, 0-2. Krolikowski steps in, bases loaded, nobody out. Curry throwing from the full windup on the 0-2 pitch. Fouled into his legs. Still in the box, that's just a foul ball. So Krolikowski with the chance to add a bunch of insurance runs going into the 7th. Curry comes set. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Krolikowski. Fastball that misses just out off the plate. It's a good pitch with 2 strikes. Tried to get him to go fishing, but he was disciplined at the plate. 1-2. Here's the 1-2 delivery from the pitcher, Caden Curry. That one misses way off the plate. 2-2. As Krolikowski is trying to climb his way back into this count. Curry from the full windup, the 2-2 pitch, a curveball that stays way high. Full count. So a big pitch here. As a walk or a hit is going to score at least one. And that's a fly ball back out of play. Went back up so high behind us I couldn't see where it went, but it was fouled back over the backstop. So the count is full. Bases are loaded. There are no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch to Krolikowski misses away in the dirt. And Krolikowski gets one of the easiest RBIs of his life on a walk. And that makes your score First State Bank 5, 5 Points Bank 9.
Your batter number 4, left fielder Blake Lighting.
And that's going to close the book on Curry as it was a short outing. So Curry's going to go into the dugout. Let's see who comes out to replace him.
Your attention, please. Now pitching number 23, Joe Clement.
23 was already in the game, though. So Joe Clement is going to be the new pitcher. So there's going to be a courtesy runner. Curry's going to stay in the game. They're just going to switch around the lineup. So there were no lineup changes, just position changes.
Correct.
And a courtesy runner over at third. Looks like number 1, Brock Douglas, is in as a courtesy runner. He's waiting for you to announce it. That's why he's been pointing up here. Yep. They just put him in, I think.
Courtesy runner at third base, number 1, Brock Douglas. Didn't see him come in.
All right, so we're back to live action. Clement is warmed up. So Clement, the right-hander, steps onto the mound. No outs, bases loaded. Tough situation to be brought into. But he went over from third base and came in his first pitch. Gets away from the catcher. It's going to be a pass ball. And Clement wasn't able to get to the plate to cover it in time. Runner's going to come in to score on the play. Cooper will move up to third. Krolikowski moves up to second. And it's ball 1 on Lighting on the pitch in the dirt. Here's the 1-0 delivery from Clement. It's hit high in the air into right field. Might score a run. Right fielder camps under it, makes the catch. Strong throw to the plate, and the runner's going to think twice, and he should think twice. That was a laser beam from the former pitcher, Logan Mueller, who's out there in right field now.
Number 18, third baseman Javier.
But a laser beam to the plate. So that's going to be the first out of the inning as Lighting flies out to right field, brings up number 18, the third baseman, Javier Cruz. And there's a hard line drive between the first baseman and second baseman. One run's going to score. Runner at third is going to round and hold as they now got a chance to see Mr. Mueller's arm out there. They're not going to test it. So Cooper comes in to score. Krolikowski.
Number 3, center fielder, Kian Wentling.
And for Krolikowski, Nelson King is in there running. It brings up number 3, the batter, center fielder, Kian Wentling. And he's thrown out. So Wentling's up to the bat. The first pitch came in. Cruz went in nonchalantly to second, trying to steal the base. And they let the throw go all the way through two people who looked like they were cutting it off. And Cruz gets gunned down by the catcher. Oh, 1 pitch to Wentling, hit into right field. Mueller moves underneath and makes the catch for the third out of the inning. So it's getting hard to keep track of everything up here, folks. A lot of things happening all the time. But what I can tell you is that 3 runs come across this inning for 5 Points Bank. So going into the bottom of the top of the 7th inning,
In the bottom of the 6th inning, 3 runs on
your
3
score,
hits and no
First State Bank of Fremont, 5 Points Bank of Grand Island, now with a score of 11. So we're going into the final scheduled inning of play. We'll be back in just a few moments. Thanks for listening to us on GretnaBaseball.com.
Points, cash, gear, sports. With a Dick's Scorecard, you earn points on all your purchases and get 3% back in rewards and access to exclusive deals and events. It's simple. Points lead to cash to buy gear so you can play more sports. Get your Dick's Scorecard and start earning reward certificates today. Every season starts at Dick's.
We're back with the top of the 7th inning, and Logan Ward checks in to bat to lead off the inning for First State Bank. Takes the first pitch from Melvin high for ball 1. So that's Logan Ward that's checked into the game. Next pitch misses outside. Two-0 pitch to Ward, swinging and missing on a fastball in the outside corner.
Logan Ward wasn't even on the lineup card today, but he's on the roster.
Yeah, I didn't see him on the lineup card either. That's why I was a little bit confused. 2-1 pitch comes up empty on the swing, so the count goes to 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Curveball right in there for strike 3. So Ward comes in as a pinch hitter and goes down on strikes as he gets frozen by a curveball.
Number 3,
For the first out of the inning.
Eli Herring.
Brings up the center fielder, number 3, Eli Herring. And First State Bank needs to score 6 runs this inning to keep the game going. First pitch from Melvin on the outside corner for strike 1. Second pitch again on the outside corner, strike 2 as he swings and misses. So Melvin kind of cruising right now, just blowing heat past him. The big lefty from the full windup. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Herring. Nope, timeout is called by the batter, so we're going to reset and do it all again. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Curveball, but he didn't get it down. Stayed up high. He had him frozen, but he just didn't get it down into the zone. 1-2 is your count. 1-2 count to Herrick, and it's a curveball that's ripped just foul. About a foot outside the third base as it rolled by. But he was out on his front foot as he kind of got fooled on the off-speed pitch and wasn't able to sit back and wait long enough. Count remains 1-2. Melvin, the lefty from the full windup to Herrick. This one's popped up in the air to the infield. The first baseman's going to come in on it, and he's going to make the catch in on the grass for out number 2. So second out of the inning brings up number 4, the second baseman, Brody Sintek, and First State Bank is down to their last out of this game.
Third baseman, Brody Sintek.
So Sintek, batting from the right side, steps in. Needs to get on base here to keep it going, and there's a nice tailing fastball on the outside corner by Melvin. At this point, Melvin is throwing the gas right by him, and then he's freezing him with the curveball. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Another fastball. This one misses a little bit low. 1-1 to the batter, Brody Sintek. 1-1 to Sintek. 2 down here in the top of the 5th. 5 points. Bank of Grand Island is in the field, and they have a comfortable 6-run lead right now. And First State Bank of Fremont down to the last out. Here's the 1-1. Called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the batter, Brody Sintek. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball right back to the mound. Runs it over, underhands it to the first baseman, and that's the ball game. Ladies and gentlemen, your final score in this, which was Game 7 of the tournament, is 5 Points Bank 11, First State Bank of Fremont 5. So what does that mean for the bracket? What it means is that 5 Points advances to the third round of the winner's bracket. So they are scheduled to play at 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. So 6 p.m. for you 5 Points fans is when they'll be playing. They'll be playing the winner of the next contest, which is between Baxter Auto of Gretna and the United Federal Credit Union Columbus Blues. So it'll be either Gretna or Columbus Blues that will be playing 5 Point tomorrow. As far as First State Bank, this is their first loss, so it drops them into a loser's bracket game. And they will face, let's see who they're going to face. Yeah, loser of Game 7. They're going to end up facing Dinsdale tomorrow. Dinsdale Auto of Grand Island in the 12 noon game. So, 12 noon game for First State Bank.
As a result of the outcome of this game, Grand Island 5 Points Bank will now play tomorrow at 6 p.m.
So we're getting through the bracket. We've had 2 games today. Only our nightcap is left to go. The nightcap's going to be between Baxter Auto and the Union Federal Credit Union Blues of Columbus. That game will be coming up at 7 p.m. We'll definitely have it here on GretnaBaseball.com. We appreciate you listening online. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Join us for further Area 6 junior action. Thanks for listening on GretnaBaseball.com. Have a great night.